So I was going for a run and I started to think about my trading journey, and I made 6% this week and I'm feeling like I'm doing pretty good in the markets. Felt like everything was under control this week, but my previous strategy failed, so I had to develop something new, something better. And I'm asking myself at the end of this week, should I start trading on my 100k fund account again? And my mind was trying to convince me that that's a pretty good idea. You're doing pretty good. Backtesting looks really good. Let's just get this money. But then I started to think about it, and I told myself, why do I even care? Let's say I go into the 100k fund account, I make 20k next week. But like, what even is 20k? It's nothing. 20k doesn't mean anything in the long run. I want to make 200k, 300k, 400k, 500k next week in the long run. So why do I even care? Can I just continue doing the challenges that I'm currently doing? Why do I care? Because of fear, mostly. A bit greed as well, but it's mostly fear. Fear of missing out, fear of losing the accounts eventually, fear of losing this opportunity, fear of the markets changing, just fear of missing the whole opportunity and not capitalizing until it's too late. But then again, I ask myself, why do I care? Why do I even care about all this stuff, like the result, the payouts, like going to Dubai, like all of that stuff? I actually realized that this is where most people fail. I just saw a video of a trader who told everyone that 6 months ago he was funded 750k. He was up 25k, and then he lost everything and he didn't get a payout. So I told myself, why do I even care? Like, if I rush, get to a specific point in funding and all of that stuff in profits, then just lose everything. Why? Because you always have to build a foundation. My psychology, I've worked really hard on my psychology lately, and if I then increase the stakes too quickly, then I lose everything. Why? Because then I start to care. Then I start to actually care about the result again, and that's why I'm going to fail. So I'm just going to let this stuff take the time it needs to take. I don't care about the funding, I don't care about the payouts. I'm just building it slowly, brick by brick, foundation, and stop caring about a 2k payout, because 2k is nothing. So I mean, this is why everyone fails in trading again and again, because they get to a certain point and they sabotage, because as soon as you start to care again, you forget how the market just completely destroyed you last time, and that you swore that you're not going to care about the profits, care about setups, FOMO, all of that stuff, because you got so humiliated by the market last time. The last time you blew our account or challenge or whatever, that you tell yourself, I don't care anymore. And then you start to believe that stuff, and then you perform really well. But then you see that you're performing really well, and you start to get hope again. You start to get your hopes up, and you ruin everything, because at that point your psychology is off. That's the way it works. Because in this game you need to be so detached from the result that the only thing you can care about is your input. Did you do everything you could do that was required of you? I realize that the result may be further down the road, but eventually everything is going to compound, and you're going to get to not only the place you wanted, but even further. So if you're currently asking yourself, should you increase the risk? Should you trade on a bigger account? all of that stuff, just tell yourself, no, you shouldn't. Because it feels almost unreal how well I performed lately. Like, I performed so good this week, and I'm not just talking about the winners, I'm talking about risk management. I'm talking about going break even 2 times in a single session this week, protecting my capital, and then just to get a nice trade later that day that hit TP. Risk management, money management, psychology, everything. And I know that I wouldn't have been able to perform that well mentally earlier in my career. So I'm currently doing 2 challenges, and I'm up 4% on one of them and 3.6 on the other one. And I'm planning to complete both of those challenges to prove to myself that what I'm doing currently, the new strategy, psychology, everything is working. And then I'm going to increase the risk by acquiring bigger accounts or using the bigger accounts that I already have. But everything compounds, and this is going to be boring. I'm probably not going to get some large payouts the next 2 months. I may get some payout, but not a large, because I don't use my large accounts. Because I had to take a step back after I draw down, simply because the strategy didn't work that well anymore. And I had to start, not from scratch, but I had to develop something new. And people get excited, they go into backtesting, they go into live trading because it works well. And then immediately after a winning streak, they want to increase the risk. But after a winning streak comes a losing streak. And I know that the strategy in itself isn't what made me profitable this week, because I had plenty of opportunities to lose as well. But my strict mindset allowed me not to fail this week. Going break even, taking partials when I needed to, and skipping bad setups is what helped me. And I know that if I just focus on that, then the percentage the coming weeks and months will be so good that in a short period of time I will reach that large account again, and there will be no issue. But then I'll build my confidence, and I prove to myself that I have the right and the privilege to use that large account. Because you shouldn't increase the risk until you've proven to yourself that you're worthy of using that large account, that big lot size. Because then you'll feel like you're taking what belongs to you, what's yours. You will not feel the imposter syndrome, and you will feel like you're actually performing within your league, you could say. Not that you don't belong there, you belong in a smaller account and this isn't for you. Like, if you see that large number on the screen and you feel like this is too much, like I'm not qualified for this, then you're going to self-sabotage. And you can be doing really well, but just because you feel like the amount of money on the screen scares you, you will fail. Because you have to make so many decisions every single day, every single session, every single trade. Should I go break even here? Should I go in here, or should I wait? Should I take a partial here? Should I take profit here? All of that stuff. And the plan itself won't save you when you have to make those decisions. And if you're trading in a fight or flight mode, this is never going to work. So if you're asking yourself, should I increase the risk? Should I trade on a larger account? And you have to ask yourself those questions, then you shouldn't do it. If you just know that, yeah, I should do that, then you're ready. Because if you feel shame or if you feel stupid after taking a loss, going in a losing streak, then it's because you deep down felt like you wasn't ready to trade that large amount of money. But if you feel nothing, then it's because you know that you did everything you could do to manage risk, to not over leverage, to not use an account or a challenge you wasn't ready for, and that's it. If you're interested in my strategy, my daily market analysis, there's a link to the Discord in the bio, and I give live market analysis and setups every single day, and I tell you which days are high probability and which days are low probability. Hope that helps. Don't make stupid mistakes. I think it's so boring to just trade challenges, not trade funded, but like, you can't care about the result. This is one of the toughest industries, and all you can care about is your input, what you can control. Did you do everything right? Did you perform well? That's it. The result will take care of itself, and there's no point in getting the result before you're ready to achieve it anyways. Hope that helps. See you in the next video.